Hey, it's Jason back with the Simpademic. I've got one more clip here. I just posted it on my Twitter X page, but I've got another Billy Ray Brandt clip, and I'm going to play it here for you right now.
For the longest time that if you treated women nicely, they would love you unconditionally. You thought if you gave them everything they ever wanted, it would be yours forever. And you may have even thought that your own masculinity was toxic for a second there. But now you've learned the truth. Nice guys really do finish last. Women are very conditional with how they love you. Your masculinity is not toxic. And that the worst of femininity can be just as toxic as the worst of masculinity. Now you're angry. You've been lied to. You feel betrayed. And I get it. Betrayal is tough to get past. But guess what? You shouldn't be angry. You should be happy. Because now you know the truth. Now you know what women actually want. Now you know how to be a man worthy of female desire. And now you know how to protect yourself from the true dangers that exist in relationships between men and women. So drop the anger, forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made, and stop attacking the other side the same way that they attacked you. Remember, a hero and a villain have the same painful backstory, but one uses it for good and the other uses it for evil. So continue to speak up to make sure young men and women do not suffer the same way you did, and not because you have disdain for your opponents. Let's talk about red pill rage. Look, I understand
Excuse me, guys. Jason and the Simpademic, my new favorite content creator there. I did post this on my Twitter X page for the full view, but I decided to go ahead and play the back clip for tonight's edition. And again, I want to this is such an important point that I feel like I need to have a second episode about it. And I do want to drive it home. Red pill rage, of course, is the rage created by a lot of the manosphere channels, such as I mentioned yesterday, that are AI generated, as I suspect, that are there to create anger in men because, face it, that's the stuff that goes viral and allows these content creators to cash the biggest checks. And so I put that out there, and I put that out there yesterday, and I'm just going to second that again today. And also, Billy Ray also has another clip about, why women care about height, which of course is the one thing that you can't really control. And what it comes down to is, yes, they care about height, but, with a huge but there, it's a function of women feeling safe and protected, which I firmly believe is in our natural DNA. And that particular need to feel protected and secured by your man is something that is, I think, ingrained in most women, and that is why height is so important. However, I believe Bruce Lee was only 5'5". Did his wife ever feel unsafe around him? Oh, God, no. This is a guy who could probably take any thug on the streets of New York City these days and probably break him in two over his knee. Or do a flying roundhouse kick and literally knock their head off their shoulders. I'm serious. There wouldn't be any body parts left after he's done with them. This little guy, but with all the strength and discipline on the face of the planet, was enough to make his own family always feel safe. And a lot of that went on to his sons. And I thoroughly believe that this is where the whole height thing, the whole thing about being 6 foot tall, means so much. It's not literally the height, it's the security that comes with, that is perceived from that height. So, if I were to go out there and start, training in karate, my 5'10" self would probably that would probably not be an issue. Maybe I should. The other thing I'm going to say about the whole red pill rage thing is, avoiding it manifests itself a little bit differently depending on your age as a man. What I would say to younger men in their 20s and 30s is, just don't let that deter you from pursuing relationships. Our nation is at an all-time, well, not all-time, but at least since World War II, low birth rate amongst all of our population. To have a replacement level population, we need to average 2.1 live births per woman capable of giving childbirth within that particular age range. 2.1, 2 to replace each of the parents, and 0.1 because not all children grow up to be, live to be adults, sadly. And we need that in order to counter things like infant mortality and diseases and certain things of that nature. So, right now the United States is at 1.7. We are at a point where population decline will naturally occur. And at those particular numbers, immigration is not going to be enough to completely offset that. Most Western countries right now are below 2.0. The most extreme situation I can think of is South Korea, which is at 1.21. And so for those reasons, and basically for the health of our country and our future as a nation, I encourage young men to just pursue that particular dream. Now, for somebody of my age who's 52 years old, who already has a 19-year-old daughter, that angle is going to be a little bit different because I can't have any children. I actually had the snip done in my early 40s before my divorce. So that aspect of things doesn't apply to me. Being at peace is important to me. But with that said, I'm not going to go into the red pill path because of the fact that if the opportunity and if the good Lord presents me that opportunity, I will happily pursue it and take it as a gift from Him. I think Billy Ray mentioned it once that it's most red pill men these days don't acknowledge how amazing falling in love can be. I speak from modest experience because it's only happened to me once. And it's not my former wife. It was somebody back in my 20s. She actually approached me. And given the external extreme circumstances I was in at the time, it was really the only way that was going to happen. She was strong and she knew what she wanted. I complimented her in a way that wasn't meant to be a pickup line, but it accidentally became one. Because I complimented not her physical appearance, although it was her haircut, and to be specific, I just said, I don't care what kind of canine breed your haircut is supposed to be. It still looks fantastic. She called it a poodle cut, by the way. If you're a man and you're commenting on quality, or a quality of theirs that's not related to being quote unquote hot, that's a winning play. You will win more often than not. And in that case, I inadvertently did. That wasn't my intention, but it worked that way. So take that as a tip. Meanwhile, at my age, again, I'm not in a position to be contributing to remedying that birth rate. But I encourage all men that are to do that. And in that clip with Billy Ray, she mentioned something that I have always believed, and that is toxic masculinity and toxic femininity can both be equally destructive. We definitely have toxic femininity in the form of extremist feminism, not basic feminism. I think basic feminism did a lot to help our country and did a lot to build our economy with the manpower, or women power in this case, that particular strength to build our economy to where it is. It came to life during World War II when our men were off to war, but production was necessary to build the materials that were going to help those men defeat Nazi Germany. And because of the women who stayed behind, who put that work in, we pulled it off. And so, I think in that regard, feminism is very helpful. Giving them the right to vote, I think, was absolutely imperative. However, the whole extreme, we don't need no man, we can do the same things as men, that part of it is wrong. We need to work together, improve ourselves, do better, meet in the middle, and we can build a positive environment again. If I was running as a politician right now for any type of public office, I think that would be kind of my slogan. And I think I would run on that issue. Jason Reichert for America. Be better. I'm Jason Reichert, and I approve this message. That would be the gist of it. So anyway, guys, do better. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you had a good hump day. Nice Wednesday night up here in Minnesota. It was in the low 20s today, which compared to recent weather is downright tropical. I definitely appreciated it, and with the sun out, it felt kind of warm. So anyway, guys, we're going to be better. We're going to do better. We're going to call out red pill extremists and feminist extremists for what it is. Big fat lies. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Folks, have a good night. Tomorrow is, as I call it, Friday Junior. Otherwise known as Thursday. So guys, have a fantastic night. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. You all know I've had some lately. I don't pursue women, but one keeps appearing. Maybe I'll meet her someday. Sweet dreams to you all too. Peace out. Have a good night.